Good morning, Stampin' friends. Or good afternoon, I guess it is, really. Can't believe it is already September. This is the card we're going to make today. And before we get started, I will just do a little bit of talking and sharing with you. I can't believe where August went. That was really quick on my part, and we didn't do a heck of a lot as a couple, as a family, or anything, of course, because COVID is still here. So I am working on getting ready for Stamping Staycation. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes when you go down to my desk. Also want you to know that I have a host code each month, so I have a new one for this month. So when you do see it, please make note of it, and anything you order online, greatly appreciated if you use that host code, and always appreciate your orders online or in person via email, however you prefer to do that. I have a Stampin' Up Stampiversary coming on September 13th, so watch for a special happening there as well. Otherwise, I will continue doing Facebook Lives on Tuesdays and a product of the week each week. Going to highlight some of the things to do with Daisy and continue highlighting this week. Share a few things with you, a few tips, and carry on from there. And plus having my monthly card class the third Wednesday of each month. So if you'd like to join that, let me know. I will include you on our newsletter, information about that. And also our Zoom Stamping with Friends on Friday has become a real hit with the gals who join, and anyone's welcome to join. It's all online. You use your own products. We send out a cutting list, supply list, I guess if you want to call it that, on usually Wednesday, so you can get ready Thursday, and then we make Friday at 1 o'clock. So let me know about that one too. So coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada today, and I'm going to switch you down to my desktop where we can create a fall colored card as you saw in the beginning, and we will get started. So here is my desk working area. My new host code, as I mentioned. If you don't already have a demonstrator, would really appreciate you coming to me. The holiday catalog, as we're calling it, but it is called the August to December mini catalog. So that one is in effect until January 4th, I believe. Yes, January 4th. Lots and lots of amazing things in there that can be used all the way through this season, as well as the first part of the year. There's some in there that I think are very suited to Valentine's and other seasons of the year. Won't go into it, but the other thing, as I just flipped through that, a reminder that as of today, everyone, customers and demonstrators, can purchase the new cut and emboss machine, which now I can't see it, but I know it was on one of these pages. This is the mini one where it's not available as of yet, but we're hoping before the end of the year. But the large one is. I do have it, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. Stamping Staycation, as I mentioned, we are hosting it again hosting our second one, but this one is on Saturday, September 12th. You get a number of live videos, recorded videos with tips, and the PDFs for all the projects that we do. Last day to register is September 10th, so it's coming soon. So if you haven't already, please follow my website, and I will put it in the intro to this video as to where you can go to sign up for that. And in conjunction with that, everyone who shares my videos, my Tuesday videos, on your Facebook page, on your blog, in your newsletter, anywhere, let me know. And I will put your name in a draw to give you a free admission to that Stamping Staycation. So that's a $47 value. So I think that's all the announcements for now. And I want to go ahead, and you did see the card that we're going to be making. really fall looking, and I like how it just ties all the fall colors, kind of a wood grain background. Could have used the wood grain embossing folder, but I wanted a bit of color, so I did use a block or background stamp. And smile, it's your time to shine. So you will find that stamp set in the annual catalog on page 20. And you'll notice that both daisies do have color, which means that they have punches to go with them. So we have a large, well, it's called daisy and a medium daisy. The medium one is the one I used on that card. So, but that is what this color, you'll notice on a number of them, they are a cream color, I would call it, and that means there's the punch to go with them. And the punches are in this section of the catalog, and here are the two punches. That is on page 166. So, our pieces that we are going to be using, our base, and I'll just maybe slide that back in so you can relate. We have Daffodil Delight for our card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have Early Espresso, and that one is this background layer at 5 1/4 by 4. On top of that, the Berry Vanilla that I used with the background stamp is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So that results in a very small border. And for the inside piece, it is what I call our regular size again, 5 1/4 by 4. So to get started, I usually work from the bottom up, and I like to fold and score on my piercing mat because I find that it tends to just stay creased a little bit better. And then my mat's there for my stamping as well. So that I did not on this particular card use any dimensionals, so that is going to go right on there. I do my stamping before. Oh, that's great. I lost my. I don't have it here. What do I do with it? Use that one, but very smart. Put it back in the cupboard in the shelves. So I'm going to use Early Espresso for my inside piece with It's Your Time to Shine, which is in the stamp set. So on this particular one, I just stamped over to the side. And did manage to get it straight, so that's kind of good. So that will go, I won't get in there just yet, because I've been known to hurry things and the ink ends up where it should be. Then for this piece that's going to be stamped with the background stamp, I have one of the few ones left yet on wood. So what I like to do with it is just leave it in the case with the block down and the image up. I will stamp it, no, I will ink it. Stamp it this way too, but for now, inking this way is better coverage on a big block than trying to lift the big block over and stamp it down to the paper. So then my piece of paper, and the reason I have a paper towel here, I look and decide, okay, what do I really want? Do I want that big? Do I want this empty space? And I am going to place my paper there, take my paper towel and use it so I don't get ink on my fingers. Well, hopefully I won't get ink on my fingers. And just rub over the cardstock to pick up the ink that I've applied on that block. And yes, if you have the one that's not on the wood block, you could put it on the Stamparatus and therefore you could re-ink it again, like that's a bit light. But for a background, I'm not concerned about that part of it. So I'll let that dry and bring back in my piercing mat because I am going to stamp for the daisies. And I just, for that card, I used the same color of ink as the paper. And I used 2 of the medium daisies for each daisy. I've got some leftover ovals from another project. And it appears, so I can get 2 on one. So Cajun Craze, I only need 1 completed flower. To bring in my really, really used simple chamois, but it does. Look at how clean that comes when you just rub it a little bit like that. Daffodil Delight, I do need, close this one before I put my stamp in the wrong color. I do need 2 flowers, so I need 4 daisies. And if you'll notice, I'm stamping with this straight up and down because when I go to punch, then I should be able to line it up a little bit easier. And if you happen to stamp it this way or whatever, you can always trim around it so your punch will reach and punch it out. Select again. Yes, I know, I should really wash that blade, but some other day. Today's busy for much more fun for stamping than washing Simply Chamois. And again, on the terracotta tile, I am going to do 4 daisies because I need 2 full flowers when I'm done. So that is my stamping of those while they're taking a couple minutes to dry, because again, if I went to use my punch right away, I could end up transferring ink to the punch, ink to the next color, and so on. So while I've got inks out and doing my stamping, I'm going to do the word smile with the early espresso again. And I want to show you what I like to do for cutting around it. You'll notice on this one, it's fairly uniform around the word. So what I've been doing is, you'll notice in here, this is where that word comes out. So I'm going to, well, I'm going to try to lay that right over the word. I have a pencil. As long as the leg's out, it should be. Oh, of course. But no, it will. I can trace around there. I can trim that with my paper snips and erase whatever little piece of pencil lead is left on there. And it works, for me, this works better than thinking that, okay, I'm just cutting around here, I need to go this way, I need to go this way. A friend recently said that if you're doing fussy cutting, move your paper, not your scissors. It works a lot better. So I've been trying that, and yes, it does work quite well. So I'm going to just erase around the edges. And there is my greeting. So now these pieces should be dry and ready to punch. And I'm just going through everything while I line these all up. You can see by turning the punch over like this, we can get them punched out. A lot of different little things I've seen to get your daisies curled. On that particular card, I put the two of them together and then curled them with the bone folder. I've also seen where you can take them like this and push in the center on your piercing mat, and it will cause the petals to pop up. That one, I followed a design, I don't remember whose it was, sorry, on Pinterest, and they had them placed like that with the curled them down, I would call it. I think on this one I'm going to try curling them up the other way and see how it turns out. So and I have seen some samples where people, instead of using only two, which is what I'm doing here today, two stamped images, they use three, and that really makes a full daisy. You can also do them on, if you did the color on like the very vanilla paper, and then, sorry, trying to think of three things at once here, then color them with blends. You can color the centers, different color. I'm just going to use the gilded gems in the centers. So to glue these, I laid them, and I think again I'm going to put them together before I curl them. So I just used some of our liquid glue and put a little bit in the center of them. And I'm going to do a couple because when I did that sample, I did them all, and then by the time I got to the last one, I couldn't move it. And you'll notice when I put them together, they're not quite filling in the spaces like I'd like. So therefore, because it's liquid glue, you have that wiggle room piece, and I can realign them a little bit better. So taking a little more time than usual on my assembly here, but I think the end result will be pretty spectacular. Whoa, do that. So getting these lined up so I don't have any space showing from behind is what I'm trying to do. And you wouldn't have to if it doesn't work for you and you'd like to have them all not lined up quite like that, go for it. I've also seen, and I haven't done those because, but some of them they take with your scissors and would trim it, and you've got half a flower, so they look like. So there are my put together daisies, and now gently, because it is paper, I am going to curl these ones so the petals are coming up when they're placed on the card. So a little bit different, and it just adds detail to the card because you've added some dimension. Those I did put on with dimensionals, and thinking I will again. The leaves in behind, I'll just touch on those. I have the Forever Greenery set that was new in the annual catalog. Love every piece of it. And when I was die cutting for some cards, I had some pieces of greenery, pieces of green paper left. So I have a container like this. And I thought when I came to that card, I would just take a number of them and tuck them in no matter, not certain order, not certain color, anything else. So I am using up my snail. So I'm going to put the inside layer in. And it should have equal border all the way around it. And for my outside layer, I am going to put on, and I didn't, because the flowers and especially the gilded gems are raised, I did not use dimensionals on any layers. So that, and my background, birch background. Oh, I think I don't care for that empty spot in my flowers. So as I mentioned in the beginning, just a very fine, narrow border around that. Then I am going to take my completed flowers and just to show you, don't ever throw these edges away on your dimensionals because you can certainly use them. They work just the same as the others. And you get, I don't know how many, I've never counted, but you do get a number of more dimensionals if you use the edges. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm probably going to work at placing mine about the same as my sample. So start tapping light, tucking in my 2 terracotta tile daisies. I don't have a lot of room for garden and don't have many flowers, so I can't tell you that these are my favorite daisies. I have them everywhere. I do love them on the card. So you could you could make more. You could cover the whole card. Then I took, oh, I'm going to get that little guy to be on there this time. I took my green and I just picked something that I thought would work with it. That is, and as you can see, they are all different sizes and shapes. Maybe that one, maybe that one. And I think in my world, I'm just going to trim those, and then I will put liquid glue on them and just tuck the bottom ends of them in there to add a bit of color on that. I do think it looks kind of bare without the green. I'm going to manage that. Oh, anyway, so I'm going to tuck her in there to push it down. I do want a piece over here, but I cannot stick, well, it shouldn't stick over the edge of the card. So you can see how by just having those handy and ready to go like that, what a easy way. I don't have to dig out my die cuts for those, and they're probably not daisy leaves by any means, however. So now I'm going to add, I'm just going to add my smile right there, and I think so it touches, sticks wherever it touches. I will use liquid glue. As you can see, certainly don't have to be the same every time. There. Okay, so now I'm going to have remaining are my to see. I may have to do something different with that. My gilded gems, and I would put one of those in the center of each of the daisies. And there. So I hope you enjoyed. I would love to have you, if you have the daisy set, make something or any flowers and post it on in the comments on this video. And we will get ready to head into fall now that September has arrived. So I will switch you back so I can see you. And thank you for joining me. Don't forget to share my video and let me know, because there are certain settings on some of your Facebook pages that don't allow me to see who shares. So I do need you to let me know so I can put your name in the draw for that stamping staycation. So till next time, take care.